It's the new OGs. The new OGs is a State and Madison Entertainment production and is brought to you by Solar Masters. Look, Illinois is changing how people get their electricity, and Solar Masters is helping homeowners in Illinois take advantage of a program that lets them get solar power at no cost. If you're a single-family homeowner in Illinois, you can lower your electric bill, you can raise the value of your home, you can do something good for the environment without paying a single dollar out of your pocket to do so. In fact, Solar Masters can only work with you if they can save you money. So nothing out of pocket, and they've got to show you a savings to be able to save you to get you on the program in the first place. Solar Masters is a SunPower dealer. They're an American panel maker with over 30 years of solar experience. They're minority owned, and for the end of 2020, they're also giving $1,000 cash rebate to anyone who goes solar. That's a lot of good shit. Yes, sir. Yes, XL.
Right.
Yes, XL.
Wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
You mean to tell me
Yes.
that you gonna save people money on their bill?
You got to save money on the bill, or else you can't even do it.
Can't even do it unless you save money on your bill.
Can't even do it unless you save money on the bill. Yep.
They're gonna help the environment.
Going to help the environment as well.
Maybe raise the value of the home.
The Department of Energy says 4 to 5% if you get solar panels.
And you gonna give them $1,000.
And we're going to give them $1,000. You just got to sign up before the end of the year.
Man, that's better when the police pull over white people.
Well, listen, if you want a feeling as good,
You're like, oh shit, they're gonna stop the dude in the Chevy truck.
or if you want to feel as good as the police pulling over white people, go ahead and get over to www.gosolarmasters.com and get in contact for a free consultation. Order a first one you know, because if you're a first man and they go solar, they're going to send you $500 for that. So we are also brought to you by People of Comedy. Get over to People of Comedy on Facebook. That's James Webb running the boards for us right now. That's how we're able to come to you and look so suave on the cameras. Get over there. Find them on Facebook. Find them on YouTube. Find them on Twitch. They do live shows. They have pre-recorded shows from all over the spectrum of gender, race, gender identity. It's all over there. Check in daily. They've got new, fresh podcasts you can watch and listen to wherever you listen to pods. What is going on, everybody? How are we doing on a Friday?
I'm groovy, baby. How you doing, man?
Good, man. It's been a wild ass week. I struggle with texting because I have people that, the poly thing, you got text, you're trying to keep up with people. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I have a tendency, and James and X, you both know this, but I have a tendency to go into like creative bubbles where like I may post comedic shit or political shit, but like actual social interaction for me, just kind of, especially being at home all the time. Yeah. It may take me a few days to get back to some people sometimes, just because mentally I'm like, I am not ready for a full conversation. And this week has been a crazy one because we're in such a tight space with everything going on right now. The craziness just it's like the last commercial break before the final 4 minutes of an episode you watch. You're like, I know the cliffhanger's coming. I know we got a cliffhanger coming. We're about to get into the real shit right now. And so 11 days out. What's going on with you, X, man? How you feeling?
And I had a really crazy week. First of all, I shaved my beard off.
Oh yeah, you clean shaven. Look at that shit.
That was a mistake. I forgot how fat my face is. I forgot the shit was camouflaged the whole time to fucking cover up these jaws, and I completely forgot about that because I was like, yeah, I look good with a goatee, and I still look good, but
struggling with it, huh? It's not working out for you.
Yeah, I'm like, so it's gonna 2 weeks. Y'all gonna have to look at this shit. It's gonna take about 2-3 weeks for some
2 weeks
stubble to grow in, huh?
Like a year and a half to get where I'm at now.
Right?
No, it's gonna take me a year and a half to get to there, but in like 2 or 3 weeks, I'll have like a nice little stubble where my man can like magically spray some shit and make it look like
the magic spray.
That magic spray shit, there'll be enough stubble there that with the spray, I look like I got me a,
Man, I don't be trusting. They be showing those commercials where people spray it in their own face, and I'm like, I don't trust that shit at all.
Yeah, what the motherfuckers be trying to get the Carlos Boozer? I'm not going for that.
Yeah, no.
I'm not doing the lacquer paint.
No.
You know who got a horrible dye job? The dude in the brother that used to be on 24 that's in the insurance commercials.
Dennis Haysbert.
Man, that dude's shit literally looks like it's black lacquer paint.
It looks like a black Ken doll. Like they just like this is the piece they put on there. Hey, joining us today, remote like we all are, is a comedian from Chicago, Schmitty B. Schmitty, how you doing, man?
Man, I can't complain now that I'm out there in traffic. It seems like only when I'm trying to be on some sort of time.
That's when they come for you, man.
Right, that's when people throw their car in front of you and want to slow you down. But anytime I'm cruising, it's motherfuckers on my bumper.
Right, yeah.
Chicago traffic, especially if you're not going, like, if you're going someplace that's right off the LSD or right off the highway or something, you could probably get there okay because you're on the highway or you're on Lakeshore and you could, bob and weave through that shit. But if you got to go through a neighborhood, you actually got to go into a neighborhood to get to a motherfucker. It's just a video game, fam.
Right.
Crackhead with a baby stroller.
If they feel like you think you got something important to do, they are hell bent on fucking that up.
If you gotta do anything near like O'Hara Midway ever, the path to get there is like, because there's highways that go there, but that does not help. That is getting on the highway is rookie game shit. You know what I mean? Like you got to find Milwaukee Ave or Archer or Ogden or something to get you. You got to find backups to get there.
You got to find a lick that don't nobody know about.
Dude, I think does Milwaukee Ave go all the way to Milwaukee? Because that's a long ass street.
I don't think so. It doesn't go to Milwaukee for sure. That's
41. It's 41, right?
No, 41 changes at some point. It cuts up because 41 ends up going up. 41 ends up connecting like 94. I'm not sure where Milwaukee Ave wouldn't go to Milwaukee. Green Bay Road goes up into Milwaukee. There's Green Bay Road hits up here. Yeah, I'm in Milwaukee right now.
Milwaukee does go it goes into Wisconsin. I know. I've been up there.
Yeah, it might hit Janesville or something.
Lincolnshire.
Everybody's telling on themselves right now. All right, Kenosha. Schmitty B.
Just start naming off Wisconsin cities like it's a big deal. Yeah, those are just places where the biggest COVID outbreaks are right now. That's all we naming off. Shout out COVID.
Yeah, shout out COVID.
Gurney Love shout outs. So Schmitty's in the house with us today, man. Schmitty, you're a comic here in Chicago. How long have you been doing comedy, Schmitty?
12 years now.
Yeah. 12 years. Are you? So I was talking to James beforehand because James hasn't had much of a chance to see you, and the original plan was for you to go to his place. And he's like, "I've never met Schmitty. I don't even know. I got this man coming here.
I feel bad, man. 12 years.
Like, I'm sure
he goes, I'm sure it's great.
He let him in.
No, I'm a big fan of yours, man. And you're regularly at Laugh Factory. You've been at Laugh Factory quite a bit, so I just assumed James would have seen you before. But
I'm actually I actually don't I be at Laugh Factory, but I don't perform much at Laugh Factory.
Yeah,
you just be there.
Yeah.
Right. So I was trying to tell James, and you can tell me if this is right or not. Like there is a section of Black comics, especially from like more than probably 6 or 7 years ago. If you start more than 6 or 7 years ago, there's this giant cross section of like amazing Black comics who were just not given much of a shot in Northside rooms. And like, in addition to the idea of just not coming up, like there's this combination of not coming up to Northside rooms and also like not getting a shot for also not coming up to Northside rooms. Is that something that you kind of feel is the case? Is that kind of where you fall into that scenario?
Well, right now for me, typically there's no club on the North Side that would book me.
Really? That's amazing to me, man.
Why not?
It's fucking hilarious.
Laugh Factory,
insanely hilarious.
Zanies,
dude, your bit about Arnie's.
Yeah. See, they're
like your bit about Arnie's. I'm not gonna ruin it by fucking it up and talking about it unless you want to talk about how you came up with it or whatever. But I remember we did a show together, and it's when I first started headlining. And Jay, we was at Laugh Factory when Jay Washington had a show.
Right.
And Jay, we had a radio show before the show, just kind of like we're doing a podcast now. And Jay goes, "Hey, Schmitty headliner." And I was, "What the fuck you mean Schmitty headliner?" And it was like, "Nah, man, Schmitty headliner." I was like, "Okay." And I had a pretty nice set before you. I had a pretty dope set before you.
That show though.
Huh?
I thought I went before you.
No. You headline because when I walked off stage, I walked off with my chest all out. And well, you gave me like, man, that was a great set. And I was like, you're goddamn right. In my head, I didn't say that to you, but in my head, I was like, you're goddamn right, because that should have shut it down. And And then you did that Arnie's bit, and I was at the bar crying for 2 reasons. I was laughing, and I was wrong. I had no business closing that show. You 100% should have been closing that motherfucker. And yeah, you a cold dude, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, I fell into when I first started comedy. I did Northside. I was going wherever there was a mic.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
I didn't know much about Northside shows. I did know about Zanies because of NBC Diversity. So when they got there, Bird had, did his speech and he was like, yeah, just come up on Rising Star. Was it Tuesdays? Monday?
Yes.
Yeah, Tuesdays.
And, he was like, yeah, just don't be late. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I finally get booked on the Rising Star showcase. After that, I did what he said. He said, hey, email me 3 lines. Don't all this paragraph shit. And I think this might have something to do with why I'm not booked in any of the clubs. So, after that, I email him. I guess I get put in rotation. So he emails me after I get to work. This is like 2010. I was already a finalist in the diversity. So he emails me. I didn't already clocked in. When I say I didn't already clocked in, soon as I clocked in, I get an email from him like, hey, I got 5 shows this weekend. I think it might have been a Thursday night. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, no, it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He's like, I got 5 shows for, I think it was like a co-feature or something like that for like $150. And I was like, man, I can't make it because I'm already at work. I don't leave work until like 8:30. First show at 7. So I'm like, I don't want to fuck up and, one, be late. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't commit to it. It was super last minute. After that, I ain't heard nothing else from Bert. Not one word. I'm talking about I emailed Bert. I'd have been sitting on his car when he came outside, like, yo.
I'm here now, though. I'm here now.
That's what we are. So, but as of year to date, none of the clubs will book me. None of them. I call, I email, do my due diligence. I, have conversations, but
there's a new, there's a new contact at Zanies now.
Yeah, Brian. So
yeah.
I emailed Brian. He responded to me after I inboxed him. So I emailed him about the Thursday night show. Got nothing back. Month go by. Email again.
Stay on him.
Nothing back. So then I add him as
watching the show. So perhaps he may be watching the show. So you may be doing your due diligence right now.
Email him as a friend.
Be funny, goddamn.
Add him as a friend on Facebook, and then I inbox him, and he hits me back like, "Yeah, I got the email. I got you in the rotation for like December, January." So I'm assuming that once I saw the post, everybody emailed. So
he's good on it. He's a guy who's pretty good on his word.
Yeah.
Say that Brian's probably one of the top 2 or 3 upstanding people that I've met in comedy.
He gives so much of a shit about comedy too, dude. Like if he says he'll get back to you, bro, fucking believe he will.
Just hold on.
Yeah. He's pretty solid. I've never asked for anything special. You know what I'm saying? I was always willing to put the work in, but I personally, I was like, I wasn't like all the comics on the South Side because we had Jokes and Notes back then. They would never go to the North Side. I was there with people who were in there. I actually started comedy in Waukegan though.
Oh wow! Okay.
In your D club.
Yeah. Man, I just found out Waukegan had black people like maybe 5-6 years ago. I did not know that. Waukegan, because it's up north up there.
Waukegan is so black, dog.
I know, but
black
the area that Waukegan is in, I just thought that was all white as fuck. It's all black.
Waukegan is black and hood. It's not like it's not like Baldwin Hills black. That motherfucker is.
Waukegan got black gang members. I got up there one. I was like, y'all, is Gangsta Disciples up here? Okay, no, don't worry about it. So
y'all don't even got public transportation. How you can't have gangs if there's not a bus or a train to take some of y'all home. You can't.
Yeah. So right now
they on scooters and shit.
I do, but a lot of those comics couldn't do both sides. A lot of the comedy that they were doing, in that little block was was
there's definitely some topics, some language, and some energy that does not travel beyond certain rooms. And as I think everybody has a space like that, but there's definitely some black comics that are like, whoa, that was hilarious. You should not say that outside this room.
Right. Yeah, it's certain places like they don't know. I mean, and they want to laugh, but they just don't know what you're talking about. So they just sit there and on the north side, they be kind of polite. I ain't gonna say kind of polite. They be real polite.
Yeah, they're polite as fuck, man.
As opposed to the south side. The south side, if they don't know what you're talking about, you might run the risk of just getting your ass whooped.
On the north side, they're just afraid of not appearing to be with it. You know what I mean? They're like, well, I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but I better laugh because I gotta act like I know what the fuck he's talking about.
On the south side, somebody might actually just say, the fuck is you talking about, man?
Right. Y'all know, dude? What?
Yeah.
Hear that? You might as well wrap your setup.
Dude,
I'm getting out of here on this.
Dude, I did a black show in Milwaukee one time where I opened with this bit I had about how black people are homophobic, and it's weird because we make the best gays. And in a white room, that shit went over great. Man, in the black room, the shit was stone, right? You just made me remember this shit, B, when you was like, you said this shit because this shit was stone, and there was three niggas in the middle of the crowd that was just like, oh, this nigga's corny. And I was done. I was done after that. Like, nothing I could do, man. I went to deep in the well. Like, this shit ain't never failed. Here we go. Yeah. Crickets. These niggas was roasting me in the audience, and I didn't want to fuck with them because I was leading off the show. And I was like, if I go after these niggas, I'm shitting on the rest of the show. I'm gonna fuck up. These niggas is roasting me. And
James Camp had a pretty black crowd at House of Blues one night, and I got into a whole argument over my right to say mulatto with like 8 motherfuckers in the corner, and there's during my set there were a couple of black chicks in the set, and then all of a sudden I just had to deal with these black chicks who were just like in the front row the whole time. Once the eyes came out, I was like, oh God, I was like trying to tell jokes over them, but also it's like, how you like that one? And they're like, we don't like none of y'all shit.
Once black people turn on you, it's hard.
It's so hard.
It's hard. Like, white people are waiting for the next joke, and because they want you to succeed. Black people want you to fail.
Yeah, there's a difference in the being around white people. One of the things I've learned is like they largely will cringe at someone else's awkwardness. You know what I mean? They're like, they feel bad when somebody else is going through like
they internalize it.
Right. Like if you fall, they'll laugh at you. But if you're on stage and you are singing and you're way off key and you think you're like, they feel bad for you. And a lot of times black people are like, they're gonna laugh at you.
You know what I think I just
like, look at this motherfucker.
All right, I'm gonna get into the psychosis of black people. White people internalize it because they don't like dealing with conflict and shit like that.
Yep.
We reflect that shit because we already got enough shit going on. I can't take on the pain of your awkwardness too. You should have took your ass up on stage, nigga. You know what the fuck this was. Like, I gotta walk out of here with more shit because you fucked up. Nah, you take it back, nigga.
I came here to feel better, motherfucker.
You take all this bad shit back. I don't want to leave here with this shit.
Right. I gotta deal with racism. I don't get paid enough at the gig, and I gotta go home and be disappointed after this shit.
So awkward because you fucked up. Nah, we shooting this shit back.
We're not letting you leave, dog. We're not letting you leave. So what are you doing now? Are you doing, you said you have a show tomorrow. Are you doing shows regular? I mean, is there a regular to shows at all right now or what?
Well, I mean, they just shut shit back down. And I feel like that was a dick move. Like they didn't give no real notice. You know what I'm saying? Like they was like, yeah, tomorrow.
Lori.
It was like, it's midnight. What are you talking about?
So
they did drop that shit at like 8 at night. They were like, hey, by the way, tomorrow, 6 p.m., it's over for everybody.
Everybody better be in the fucking house. Can you start this on Monday?
Is P. Diddy the mayor? I'm locking up the studio.
I gotta shoot back at this though. I was in the city. I live in the burbs. I was in the city Wednesday. That's when they first started talking about they were shutting shit down, right? And I'm driving past Lincoln Park on Lakeshore Drive. Lincoln Park is packed. There's four fields of motherfuckers playing soccer, right? Traffic is packed. It's people everywhere. Niggas is out everywhere. This shit was real predictable.
Right.
Like I don't understand how everybody's so shocked. I'm not trying to say I'm Nostradamus. I'm not trying to even try. This ain't even no brag. I'm saying this is how basic this shit is. I added an extra cable line to my crib in May because I knew we weren't gonna be doing shit with this. They said the second wave was gonna come at the end of October, November, in May, in March.
Now I will agree with you on that. I knew when this shit first got like real bad. I said the United States and especially Chicago is gonna parlay this into the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be on quarantine to motherfucking January. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's how, because it's a money game too.
Because we're hard-headed.
Yeah, that too. You can't tell Chicagoans what to do on any side of the city. North, south, west, lakefront. They don't give a fuck.
Nah.
They say, hey, 2 weeks we can have this knocked out. We ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah, we gotta go to the beach. Nigga, it's 90. It's Chicago. It's 90.
Nobody staying in the house.
I saw comics having softball matches and shit. Like they're not even people are leaving their house to not even do the shit that's in their lane. You know what I mean? Like
we're far away from each other, all right, dude. Come on, softball's a socially distant game, all right, man.
Yeah. Everybody's at everybody's house every night watching the finals and shit. And they were like, I don't know what the fuck's happening, man. I don't know.
How could this have possibly happened? Like, come on, man.
We knew it was coming.
We're so hilarious.
This shit was the most predictable shit. Especially because Trump punk ass, he fucked up and went. I saw Governor Cuomo last night on Colbert, and he said some shit. They were asking like, why the fuck is Trump going after New York? And it's because he's embarrassed. New York did the shit right. Like they got hit hard as fuck. They shut the shit down, and now they have like the lowest infection rate in the country, or one of the lowest ones in the country. Like they still getting infections, but it's lower than everybody else. It's like one of the few states in the country that's doing good right now. And they did it right, and they didn't listen to this stupid motherfucker.
Yeah. What were you saying, Schmitty?
It's places like New York that makes me believe that all of this is a lie. For everybody that's in New York and been to New York, it's people on top of people. And if Chicago can't get it right, and Chicago is an antisocial city. Like we don't really like being around people like that. Like New York, people are close as like I was getting on the train.
Who else gonna be there?
Like in Chicago's real segregated. Like, you know what I'm saying? No matter where you out, if you out in public, motherfuckers will kind of keep their distance or group up based on their race. And I go to get on the train in New York, it's tons of seats open. I just got to stress this enough. It's tons of seats open on this train. White lady gets on the train and sit next to me as if I don't look like a gang member. I was sitting there like, bitch, you're not concerned that I might want to take your purse?
You should have robbed her on principle. That's what you should have. I obviously have to rob you now, bitch.
I felt like that's what the fuck had to happen. Like, bitch, I got to stick you up just because.
That's starting beef.
It's gonna make me look bad if I don't rob you right now.
You out here just comfortable? Nah, bitch. Come on.
It was definitely niggas on the train clocking you like, if he don't rob this bitch.
We gonna rob him.
We robbing him, right? Like if he don't stick this bitch up or go on a purse or something.
But they didn't do that. I mean, New York shut the fuck down, man. They for real. They stayed off the trains and everything because it's easy. Like the one thing in New York that you could easily get is delivery, right? Like the one thing in New York, the one thing that's mad easy is everybody's got Postmates and DoorDash and shit in New York. Everybody, unless you work for DoorDash, you got DoorDash. Like that's because the only way you can afford to live in New York at all is if you either are walking dogs, you know what I mean, or delivering them to somebody, or you have money. Like that's the only way you're getting it. And they've curbed it. California's actually got areas where the numbers are good too, but cases are up everywhere. They had, I think they had more new cases yesterday than they did at the high points of the summer. They had 70,000 new cases yesterday.
Yeah.
It's crazy. 70,000?
70,000 new cases a day right now.
Yeah, this shit is insane. They started
7,000. That's a lot of cases.
Yeah, in the country, 70,000 new cases in the country, not in Chicago, but like
California. I was like, California.
No. They're all gonna have it in like 2 weeks.
They have cold parties. Yeah, they used to have measles parties where you bring your kid to get the measles so he can get it out of his system.
Man, please don't tell me you never took your child to one of those parties.
Nah. I got kids anyway.
You ain't got no kids?
I would have never went to that.
Take some strangers' kids.
I feel like the way he answered that he got took to one of those parties.
No,
I do remember those though.
Yeah, but that you got to be a lot older to. I've heard about them. You know what I'm saying? That was something where like the measles.
I don't think I ever had the measles. I think I got the vaccine for that shit.
Yeah, by the time we were born, they had a vaccine.
Okay.
It was like if you got it, and then
you got it while you were young, it was okay. If you get it when you're older, it should have killed you.
Right. So parents was taking their babies to get it real young. Like if somebody in the neighborhood got it, they'd be like, "Oh, well, let me have my kid play with yours." This is like in the 50s or some shit like that.
Right. Yeah. Let's get it.
And they would get it because they were like, because people had died from getting it as an adult.
I wonder if that's why all these old motherfuckers believe in herd immunity.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the issue. So the problem that's going on is there's like a lot of fucking people. First of all, there's this problem where like there's a group of people that like there's a portion of the population that just kind of believes like, hey man, some motherfucker's gonna die, fuck them, right? Like that's problem number one. But like that's why there are people that believe in herd immunity in the first place, and that's why we don't have shit like a stimulus deal also, right? Like there that motherfuckers are just like, well, 70,000 at some point we're gonna get to 330 million if we keep going, and then we'll just let it all be sorted out, right? Like,
I mean, right now they have $9 billion in testing funds that are just being held up because the dude that Dr. Atlas that's running the shit don't want people to get tested because he wants to do herd immunity.
Well, we worked it out before the show. Like for $600 billion, you could give 150 million working Americans $4,000 over 2 months. And if you could do rent abatement and mortgage abatement for that same period of time and just convince motherfuckers to stay home, it'd be a wrap. Like you would see the clients just stay home. Like here's a 2-month holiday, learn how to make art in your crib, see what you can get delivered. Like do your thing explore your world for 2 months, prepare for your next job move, whatever the fuck you got to do. Here's $4,000 in 2 months to be ready for coming out this shit. Cause we all going to be healthy when we get out. You know, wear your mask to the grocery store. Other than that, you're going to keep your ass at home. It's November, December. Where the fuck you need to go? You ain't got to go no goddamn where, right?
I don't believe in this case herd immunity would work.
It will not.
Herd immunity, if that was the case, herd immunity would have worked for the regular flu.
You know what I mean? Well, also like herd immunity means that we're going to lose like millions more lives before it's over.
Oh, yeah.
Like if the choices are you could wear a mask and stay home and like we could lose a few 100,000 lives, or we could see how many people we could infect and maybe lose a few million lives. Like just to avoid wearing masks and staying home for a couple weeks. That shit is like it's a simple.
I feel like asking us to save those lives are selfish. You know what I'm saying? Let us just get the Band-Aid off. Some of them people wasn't supposed to make this is Darwin's theory recorrecting itself. We've been saving kids from shit that we didn't even from. A lot of these kids should have been dead years ago. You know what I'm saying? And we've been putting laws in place to keep all of these kids safe and all these adults safe. And finally, nature's like, hey, hold on, man.
There was a reason I was killing these motherfuckers.
I mean, nature also gave us the ability to invent mass. Okay, so
right. Like, nah, man, nah. All of y'all cannot make it. Y'all cannot go to the motherfucking future. So, you know, we'll go ahead and get everybody sick and kill out the people we wanted to kill.
Hey, man, real talk. When we shut down in the spring, there were definite signs around the world that shutting everything down made the earth like a little healthier for a brief period of time.
Yeah. I mean, that is, so there is like a Thanos thought process to the way that some people believe, in that like if we just had like 4 billion people instead of 8 billion people, we would last a lot longer. But that's an idea that's kind of built around the fact of like capitalism being the only way, right? Because if you're worried about being able to have enough goods because everything is based on price of goods, and so we're going to overuse and like we can't ration shit out, then yeah, that's a belief, right?
But here's the thing though. We aren't supposed to stay on this planet.
You know, I like where we're going. All right, I like where we're going here.
You can't be Thanos this early.
Right. Yeah, we're too early for Thanos.
You can't be Thanos this early. You gotta wait till we fuck up the whole universe. Or you start trying to gather them Infinity Stones.
Right. Yeah.
We are supposed to move from this planet, and those collective 8 billion heads. Somebody is supposed to come up with space travel. Somebody is supposed to come up with warp drive, deep space travel, and I'm supposed to be a starship captain. And I think we need to go ahead and get rid of all of this shit so we can get there, because I want to captain the starship.
Well, that's the problem with herd immunity, because if you allow for like the people who are the most physically weak to be killed off, that means you're probably and potentially killing off some of your most mentally strong, right? Like,
yeah, like
being smart isn't going to save you from coronavirus if you get infected by it. So like, just let everybody get killed is going to, it's the weirdest thing is from the people who are also pro-life, but also trying to run around with no mask on, who are afraid.
That's a really weird mix, man.
They're afraid of the second coming of Jesus being aborted, but they're not afraid of killing off a scientist who might save humanity, right? Like that.
That's their reasoning. It's the second coming, the next Jesus.
Don't abort that motherfucker. We can't lose.
Hold on. One of them can be Jesus again. Wait a minute.
That doesn't even make sense, because that would mean that God fucked up. God clearly picked the wrong bitch. If she aborted, omnipotent, like, yeah, that's the one. Oh shit. She's walking into a Planned Parenthood?
Could you imagine if somebody Plan B Jesus?
Man, that shit, that's hilarious. Like, yeah, we were supposed to have a new Jesus, but
Charlene decided she was going to end this one early. She ain't have the funds to raise a child. I mean, it's as goofy as thinking that God would impregnate a person with his baby in the first place. Like, that seems also ridiculous.
With the Holy Ghost.
Right. Oh, you got a regular mortal woman pregnant with the Holy Ghost, who is also Jesus. I'm not supposed to. But I'm not supposed to.
Holy Ghost made Mary come.
What's interesting about the story of the birth of Jesus Christ is that at no point when she said this to Joseph, nobody called her a liar.
Right.
One person was like,
She got 9 months of being left alone to just be pregnant with this kid.
So
at a time where they straight up stoned women for being adulteresses, right? Like they.
Right.
So on the low, y'all know what that means, right? Joseph was a herb, man. and
cucking for Jesus.
Herb, he was like, okay, Mary, I believe you.
Hey, man, Joseph is the original cuck. Okay,
Yeah. There it is. Watching a black man impregnate his wife.
Like, hey, why does baby here look like this?
If you're a true Christian, that'd be the type of porn you should be watching. Okay, you should be.
I think it is, according to the numbers right now. I believe it is their favorite kind.
You know what's weird to me about porn is that
everything, the whole idea, the whole concept that we can get sexually aroused watching other people's sex that we're not involved in. Yeah,
that part too. But the amount of relative porn, and when I say relative, I mean biologically, people you're related to. Like every time,
like stepmother, stepsister.
Yeah.
I mistook. I was like, you got a bunch of cousins out here with OnlyFans, nigga. I misunderstood.
I'm like, it's this chick bones her daddy, or this bitch fucks her stepson. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, as a father of a daughter, it does make it a little like I'm no longer watching step kid porn is out. That's over. It's over. I'm sorry. Y'all need to be of a similar age, or she's got to be way older, or y'all got to be total strangers. I need that. I know for real y'all are strangers, but I don't need to hear the run up story where they're trying to where they negotiate the whole thing kicking off. I'm disinterested.
Okay,
somebody stumbles in the bathroom accidentally.
I'm against it. I'm opposed. For me personally, okay. It's not for me.
Yeah, I got to pass on that. That shit make me so
shit. The frequency of it, and you know what's funny about it? I have well, it doesn't matter.
He was about to tell some secrets. You knew that was.
I was gonna say, well, I have a page that is literally just a social media page that's just a feed of porn, of the type of porn I like. That's it. And every now and then, like the different people that I follow on that page will throw in like a weird monkey wrench. Like every now and then there'll be a chick with a huge dick. Like, hey, where'd that come from? that is not curated with everything else that you did. Like you just randomly threw that in. I did background checks on your porn, nigga. Was it what part of the package did you let like your assistant run the shit? What the fuck happened?
Oh, by the way, here's one of these.
Yeah, it was like, but like the stepmother son porn shit or the stepdad daughter porn shit, that's one of the things. Like it'll just be like a Thursday where like all of the porn providers decide, hey, that's what we're working with today.
and then you open it up and that's all that's in your feed. You're like,
that's all that's in the feed.
And we get to the nasty shit. I don't want to see none of this disgusting.
I use a search bar. I go straight to the search when I arrive. It's straight to the search. I don't.
Bobby doesn't memorize names. Or he said he doesn't remember the names and shit like that. He just if somebody gives a hell of a performance, I'm gonna see more of her work.
I like new shit is the issue. It's not that I don't know names. It's that I'll be like, yeah, that one. I've seen her fuck 3-4 times. I need new shit.
I don't know if I can watch Adriana Chechik. I think I can't watch her enough.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have my moments where I'm like, let's go back and revisit somebody, but I'm polyamorous even in my porn.
There's a couple chicks that I'd be like, I got to see more of her. And then I'd be like, what's her name? Right? Oh, really?
Hey, man, Schmitty, remember Jasmine?
How does she clean?
Oh, the fuck's her name? Light-skinned bitch. She from Chicago.
Her name is Jasmine?
Jasmine. Fuck, I can't think of it. If I said her last name, you'd know her, dude.
She a comic?
No, she a porn star.
What about her?
Never mind, forget it. I fucked up. Sorry, the weed. I forgot her last name. If I knew her last name, he'd know who the fuck I'm talking about. But
were you just trying to see if he knew her, or is there a story connected to her? Is there a story?
You like South Suburbs, right?
For me?
Yeah.
I'm on the west side now. I mean, but I grew up, you know what I'm saying, on the south side.
That's what I thought.
Is there a story connected to this woman, or are you just gonna?
Yeah, no, we're gonna keep it moving, man.
I thought you were just gonna celebrate the fact that you both knew somebody.
Yes.
You know Jasmine? I know Jasmine too. All right, next topic. Here we go.
Keep it moving.
There's a big vote coming up in 11 days. Have you guys voted yet? No. Are you voting? Can you vote? Will you vote?
He just went straight down. I'm a felon. And I just don't want to be you in this conversation and you got felonies.
I don't know if felons can vote.
Oh, they can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So go get yourself registered.
Yeah.
No, I didn't vote. It's hard to vote in this election because I'm bipartisan. So for me, I see two bad choices. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I noticed with the election is you never see any of the green or independent parties or what is the Libertarian Party. So it's like, man, they really want you to focus on the Republican and the Democrats, but when you bipartisan, to me, they're saying the exact same things. They're like, yeah, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, first off, I know both of y'all are lying. Let's get that straight. I've promised these same things to bitches, okay? And I can't fall for the same shit that I say to bitches. So I know that if, like, you know, when you dating, you know, say you tell a chick whatever you need to tell her to get the pussy. If she fucks you before the first date, she will never see a movie in her life.
Wow. I'm co-signing. I'm co-signing.
Well, I know how the game goes, so I'm kind of like, for me, you know, I think the only difference between Trump and Biden, in my opinion, is the fact that Trump is actually in office fucking up. You know what I'm saying? So we're as a starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, do we want more of that, or do we want to see what this other nigga can do? You know what I'm saying? And I think the only difference is that Biden is an actual politician, so he knows how to make people feel at ease. So like when COVID hit, Donald Trump was just like,
yeah. I mean, that's my difficulty, right? Is that I just don't think that, like, it's not that I think that Biden will somehow magically fix things. There is no magic fix for any of the shit. That's the thing that I think is difficult when we talk about politics is like a lot of times people get lost in this idea of like, well, they didn't magically fix all the problems, and so therefore they're all bullshit. But the truth is like, you know, I got healthcare when Obama was in office, and I didn't have it before that. So like, you know, if we go talk about, you know, like when people go, well, they don't do anything for somebody, it's like they did something for me. I was a 30-year-old who had no healthcare, and then all of a sudden I had it. Like that's a crazy thing to go from like not having it to like, and I had looked at healthcare for myself. It was crazy. The price for healthcare as like a single person at 30 years old, it was hundreds of dollars a month. And then Obama passed his bill, and all of a sudden my healthcare was like $85 a month to go get checkups and like my shit, like, and like I'm black, and most of the people that got benefited from that were black people, and like it's hard to look at that and then look at what this guy's done the last 4 years and be like, they're almost the same, right? Like,
but see, on the flip side of that, right, is people who didn't have health insurance or didn't want health insurance. Like me personally, I'm a very healthy person, so the only thing I really need health insurance for is to get tested for STDs. And I mean, you don't really technically need it for that.
Hey, dude, I do my shit regularly. Clean peen. That's one of my main things. Clean peen. Clean peen.
Are you over the age of 35 though?
Yeah. So that, and then if like I was in an accident or something like that,
right?
Or I fell ill and needed a kidney, they definitely.
That's how insurance works, fam. You had that shit ahead of time.
That's the whole point, though, right?
Up, like,
and for me,
of course, I didn't need a car until I wanted to go somewhere. Like, the fuck you mean? Like,
well, there's also this other issue of like you don't live on an island, right? Like you don't live on the island of Schmitty B, which means like if something were to befall you, unless you are made of millions of dollars, you are going to be relying on somebody, or else you're going, like, what happens is either like you go into bankruptcy, which means you then become someone that we have to take care of anyway. And so the thought process is, why don't we put a couple bucks into this from some taxes, and then we don't never have to worry about somebody being a drain on the financial system when they get fucked up down the road. Yeah, because you're gonna get fucked up down the road, whether it's a prostate or you know what I mean. Like someone's gonna at some point. You have to deal with some shit, right?
Like, another thing that people don't really talk about is one of the biggest problems with healthcare is cost. Everybody talks about cost. The more people that you add to the pool, even when you force in people with pre-existing conditions and problems like that, when you widen the pool, it automatically reduces cost because it automatically reduces risk.
So are you thinking about not voting at all, or are you thinking about picking one, or are you going to vote third party? I mean, Joe Jorgensen is running. There's some other people out there.
I considered not voting because that's my right. I also considered voting for one of the other, the third or fourth party.
Kanye.
I don't know if I can give Trump or Biden my vote, but I already know. So what's interesting to me, I was like, I ain't got to vote. This state is going for, Biden. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Outside of Chicago, I've been outside of Chicago a lot lately, and all I see is Trump 2020. Everywhere. I went to the gun range, Trump 2020. I went to motherfucking what was I at? Hinsdale, Trump 2020. The only way is Biden.
Yeah, you going to where all the old white people live. You hang out. I was at the gun range. I was at the golf course. I
was on a farm in Peoria. I was
at the golf course.
I was at Menard.
All these niggas voting for Trump.
You didn't see Trump 2020 at no rim shacks.
Yeah, I definitely. I ain't seen Trump 2020 at the Weed Man.
The thing is like the population of Chicago alone at 3 million, pretty much, for lack of a better word, trumps the rest of the state, right? Like,
yeah, right. Because it's real spread out once you get outside of the metropolitan areas.
There's like another I don't know, 6-7 million in the state in total.
Where I'm from, Aurora to the west is literally like where civilization stops. When you it's literally, you're on the highway, it's all kind of buildings, industry, urban. As soon as you get past Aurora, cornfield.
And then and you driving for a while.
Yeah. This is just flat as fuck cornfields to the left and right.
Yeah, it's there are a bunch of Trump people out there, but there are also a ton, like, there's tons of suburbs that are very liberal ass suburbs. The Chicagoland area, I think the city of Chicago is like 2.8 or 2.9 million, and then the area is something like 5 or 6.
Yes,
and the close surrounding area is heavily Democratic, and the whole population is only 12 in Illinois, and so you got almost half the state surrounded around Chicago, which is.
Here's the thing that's crazy. I live in like Aurora, Plainfield, Naperville area, Oswego, like literally where I live, I can go either one of them just as easily. Okay. And this is typically a place where I would see a ton of Trump shit. I see none. Like I see so little Trump stuff that when I see it, it catches my eye like, oh, okay, there's one. And this is a really heavily Republican area. But we also, in 2018, elected a Black Democrat woman, Underwood, who from Naperville too. So maybe it's shifting. I don't know.
Who the fuck knows? Did you guys see the, speaking of seeing Trump shit, did you see the 60 Minutes interview he did? Did you see that? He's the wildest unhinged dude ever, man. He put that shit out like he was proud of it.
Yeah, like the wildest thing about it is that he didn't, like, he should have took the tape and said, y'all can't play this shit. He shouldn't have been releasing it. He should have been burying it. We should have saw this tape after he died. Like after he loses the election and has like a mysterious heart attack in the West Wing or some shit like that. That's when this tape should have come out, and CBS we didn't release it out of respect to this motherfucker. Now that he's dead, let me show you the crazy shit that he did.
They were talking to him like they didn't respect none of what he was talking about. I was like, God damn. People wasn't talking about Obama like that, and we knew some of them was racist. We was like,
but because you have a respect for, I think. It is getting to the point. By the way, this is kind of in the same place, but are we gonna talk? I don't know if we're gonna talk directly about the debate too, but
we ain't got that much time.
We ain't got that much time. But then I just want to shout out Kristen Welker, the sister from the debate last night, that she was the coldest shit about the debate because she talked over that motherfucker and basically shut the fuck up, Mr. President. I'm asking you a question.
I thought they were muting the mics. They didn't seem to mute the mics very often.
They muted the first 2 minutes that they had the response, and then after that, it was wide open again.
They just kept letting them go after they kept going, we will move into the next thing. And then each of them would be like, I just need 10 more seconds. I need to yell one more fucking line at this.
Hey, listen, the first
because Trump would just say some outrageous, This motherfucker, he's his own FBI. His FBI, the person he appointed as FBI director, said the shit that he's saying is a Russian plot. And this motherfucker's on TV like, nah, he don't know what he's talking about. listen to the shit. Because this is the thing. This is why you don't respect Trump, Schmitty, is this motherfucker has a plot that in order to believe, you have to believe that Hunter Biden is simultaneously an international criminal, smart enough to evade the FBI while the president is screaming for investigation, and stupid enough to leave an unpassword protected laptop somewhere a motherfucker can see it where he has incriminating evidence on it. Like, that has to be the same person. That can't be the same person. The person who's dodging the FBI while the president is screaming on TV, arrest the motherfucker, does not leave a laptop without passwords and all this incriminating evidence anywhere for somebody else to have. They're just not the same people.
He do cocaine. Listen, the first debate when he said your son was kicked out of the military for doing cocaine, I was like,
dude, you couldn't have kept me behind the podium after that one. I'd have been like, what, motherfucker? Is you out your motherfucking mind?
I'm serious. That's like Secret Service has some choices to make, man.
If I was if I was in Joe Biden's camp and he walked off stage after that, I'd have been looking like, so
you gonna do something or what? We jumping? What we doing?
I feel like Joe Biden literally has to ask his Secret Service, like, so what happens if I attack him?
The crazy
guys, right? Put out pictures of his son sleep with the crack pipe in his mouth.
Yeah, they fouled up. Dude. Well, speaking of being compromised, Sacha Baron Cohen has a new Borat movie coming out. And it was perfectly timed because, you know, the source of this laptop about Hunter Biden in the first place is Giuliani and Steve Bannon. And there's a clip from the Borat film where he's doing an interview with this young chick who's 24. He doesn't know how old I don't know if he knows how old she is beforehand. I haven't watched the clip yet, but I don't know how old he thinks she is.
That she's 15.
But he's in his 70s and she is definitely not. You know what I mean? Like she's questionable. She's something under 25 for sure, right? But like how far under is who knows, right? And in the clip, they end up going up to a hotel room together, which is also you asking for trouble. You over 70, you Rudy Giuliani, you gonna go to a hotel room with a woman alone. Like this is and then on the video, he's he's doing all types of weird shit.
I will say this is not a spoiler because I heard Sacha Baron Cohen say this shit. Literally, the line is when he's tucking his shit in, Borat runs in and goes, "No, Rudy, she's only 15. She's too old for you."
Yeah, whoa. Yeah. I know that's a line that Borat runs in there and yells. I'm not sure if that's a thing that Rudy knows beforehand. But either way, this is not just a 77-year-old man in a room with a woman who's in her early 20s, which under normal circumstances, who gives a shit? This is a guy who we are concerned like the concern is Rudy a compromised player in the game, right? Is he somebody who's been compromised? Well, look, man, if you'll that easily go up to a room with this chick with an accent and start tucking in shit in your pants or doing whatever the fuck you're doing up there with her, like, of course you've been compromised. They got you this easily.
Yeah, he's probably
stopping nothing, homie.
It's like playing in the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't be
trust straggling white women. If you hoop.
And she got an accent?
Do not go to no hotels and trust, because all what's going to happen is you're going to end up, one, accused of rape, and then you're going to find out she was 12 to begin with. You'd be like, what the fuck? She was not dressed like a 12-year-old.
Wild. It's perfect.
I feel like that was some real specific shit there, Schmitty B. You know what happened? You know some shit about?
They punked Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, they did.
Boy, Melo was losing it. They looked up and he was like, bitch, stop calling me Melo. I was like, that's
can't have him know, man. Can't have him know. You know,
I'm 15, but Melo, bitch, stop calling me that. He was better.
I'm Mr. Anthony, bitch.
Speaking of some other shit that's been caught out there, Halloween is coming.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's gonna be. I don't have a plan for Halloween. I'm probably gonna be sitting my ass at home, hoping nobody knocks on the door. Walmart is selling costumes like they always do. Briefly, they sold a puppy play mask online in its Halloween costumes category. The thing is a fetish hood from a. They sold this thing online that was supposed to be a Halloween costume. It turns out it's a line of fetish masks for like BDSM shit. They look like puppy dog masks. We gonna put them on the site at some point. But
didn't they outlaw like things being looked as childlike for sex or something.
What?
Like, because at one point they were using those things to
like get the baby doll outfit.
Yeah.
Outlawed things that were crossing the line between sexual and childlike.
Yeah, so X is trying to show it. X trying to. Yeah, there it is. That's the.
All right.
That looked like Sub-Zero and Scorpion puppies. It looked like Mortal Kombat.
Fetish hoods. That's what the fuck it was, which is pretty wild. And some other not so great news. Do you guys remember the Amazing Randy? He was like a comic magician kind of a cat. Do you remember the Amazing? He used to be on TV in the 80s all the time. He'd be on talk shows. He was a dude who challenged. He was a magician, and then he started challenging. He put out a bet that was like, "I'll pay somebody." I think it was 1,000, then became 100,000, then became $1 million for somebody to prove paranormal abilities. Like if you can prove that you can do telekinesis or you're telepathic or you can see the future or you're a medium, we'll pay you $1 million, but you got to prove it. And he set out these strict rules. He passed away recently, this past week. But he had a big old Uri Geller was this dude in the 80s who used to claim he could bend spoons and shit. And they went through all these. Yeah, they went through all these lawsuits over trying to determine who was who. But Randy was a bad motherfucker, man. He was a dope ass magician.
He's like the Penn and Teller's grandfather.
He was on bullshit a bunch. He had done a bunch of episodes. If you go back and you watch old episodes of Penn and Teller's bullshit, you'll find a bunch of amazing Randy shit on there. Because he's the guy who inspired Penn. I think he's one of the inspirations for Penn. Yeah. He's a
that everybody when they do in movies when they do a what am I trying to say? When they do like a paranormal talk show type of thing, they're modeling after him.
Yeah, he got into it with the chick from that show Medium because Medium, the show Medium is based on this lady who claimed she was a psychic, and I think they had like a few lawsuits where he was just like, this lady's full of shit. she ain't got no goddamn abilities, and she's turning out TV shows and shit off of this, so that's not happening. Another thing that passed away, Quibi is dead.
I was like, wait, you said another thing that passed? What the Quibi, yeah.
The thing that's supposed to be, was it the 10-minute movies?
Yeah.
You could only watch on your phone, and it was cool because when you turned your phone, hey man. I saw something very interesting about this morning. The two people running Quibi were Meg Whitman and
Katzenberg, right?
Katzenberg. And both of them in separate interviews back to back were like, yeah, we fucked up. We thought we had a thing and we went this way and we were wrong. And like they openly, without like anything like, oh, coronavirus this and so, like they took 100%.
I mean, they'd have to. Coronavirus, niggas just sitting at home. What you got to do but look at your phone?
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know if I've, especially recently, ever seen leadership. And they had money to continue Quibi. They shut it down because they were like, it's not working and we were wrong and it's not going to work. And if we shut it down now, it's more money that goes back to investors.
Here's who I feel bad for. I feel bad for all the people that had gigs and got excited because they just thought they got a show on a new thing. I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't feel bad for Jeffrey Katzenberg.
And Jeffrey Katzenberg is very, very wealthy.
Because I watched Kevin Hart's Die Hard.
Yeah.
Which wasn't bad. I felt like that was a smart move for them because if you watch that, it shows in small part a formula to being able to do Quibis. Now, I think the part they fucked up at is you know, so now you got a movie really that you cut into, if it's an hour and 20 minutes, you cut it into 12 sections. You know what I'm saying? So people are gonna watch that whole 12 right then. So you might as well just did a movie.
And that is what they did, actually. They avoided having to pay like regular rates by cutting all their shit up to segments that were less than 10 minutes. And so they could film things like it was a movie shoot or a television show shoot, but only had to pay people like they were shooting like shorts. And that's how they skirted a lot of the rules. So like, I don't feel bad for the company going down because they basically shit on talent. Right? Like physical talent, like on stage production talent, and also like I'm sure the performers didn't get big name performers got paid some shit, and it was a nice break for some people who like I know comics that had shit on Quibi that didn't have no gig before, so like hooray for that. But also like the Katzenberg and what's her face, was it Whitman, who admitted herself that she doesn't watch television other than a show on the History Channel. So like, why are you even in entertainment other than to try and profit off of talent? Like,
she's
fuck y'all.
She has a reputation as a great CEO. I don't understand how. I think the last
HP.
This
she
3
fucked
companies
up HP.
in a row, she's bankrupt.
Yeah,
so,
she fucked up Hewlett Packard.
Yeah, and she fucked up something before Hewlett Packard. Like she's a fucking Black Widow.
She's a chick who fails up.
If you include her presidential campaign, that's 4. She is on a losing streak.
Yeah, she ran for president too.
And highly regarded. Take
shots. You can tell that much about her. Hey, Schmitty, man, where can people find you online, man? Where you got shows coming up? What's going on? Anything you want to promote real quick before we hop out of here?
Nah, man. That show probably finna get canceled. I feel like they're gonna kick the door in right before I go up.
Are you willing to do any Zoom shows? Are you doing Zoom shit at all? Or are you like, nah, I gotta be in person?
I can't do the Zoom. I can do a podcast, but it's something about that for me as a stand-up comic, it's not there for me, man.
Yeah. I need live interaction, man.
Yeah, I need that. Like, I'm a more intimate type of comic. Like, I prefer a comedy club as opposed to maybe like a large theater. A large theater, if I do something like the Airy Crown, I'm there for the money.
Yeah.
And if I do like a small intimate gathering, I'm there just because I like being on stage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can follow me on everything Schmitty B. That's SCHMITTYB.
Nice. Yeah, find them on there. XL, what can they find you at, brother?
Graham. Oh, my bad.
You can find me at XL Comedy. Put an at right in front of the XL Comedy right there. Find me at XL Comedy. That's where you can find me on everything, IG, Twitter, blah, blah, blah.
Nice. If the lockdowns are over, I will be at Zany's on November 5th. We'll see. I don't know how that's working. I know they're closing shit out at 10 p.m. right now. Last call's at 9. So if I can fit my show into that, I think that's happening, but we'll see about that.
Oh shit, real quick. I'm at Quarry Bar in Lamont tonight.
Look at everybody jump. Oh, if you are listening to this live right now and you're not in Venezuela, get up to
Quarry Bar in Lamont tonight, 8 p.m. I think they're pretty close to sold out, but this might be one of the last shows you can go to. So come check me out.
Find me at Mocha_Jesus on Twitter and Instagram. Find the podcast at New OGs Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Go to at People of Comedy. Check out all their shit, or at People Comedy Network on Instagram, and get to go Solar Masters. Or first of all, thank you guys for hanging out with us. That's it for us. We're out of here. That's what's up.
Why you so mad that I can't put you on my schedule? Why you jealous? Thought you knew that I would never fold. So many doubted, fuck them all. Now they gon' have to pay our tickets, sell our shows before we hit the road. They said we couldn't do it.